Yes, everyone, welcome to Full Time Devils. My name is Stephen Howson. Today on Transfer Talk, we're going to be looking at Romelu Lukaku, who has supposedly agreed a fee with Inter. Now, I've got to say, I'm not even in the slightest bit shocked that Lukaku has agreed personal terms with Inter Milan, coming out saying what he said last week about Conte, coming out and saying that, do you know what, I know what's going on, but I'm not going to tell you what's going on. Mate, you might as well have had up a sign saying, I'm leaving and I'm going to Inter Milan. You might as well have done that, because it was so blatantly obvious to every single person that was watching what was about to happen. And I'm sad, to be honest, in a certain way. He wasn't great last season, and I think that was a lot down to the World Cup, lack of pre-season. He obviously put a load of timber on for the World Cup, probably wasn't advised. And he didn't really fit in with what Ollie came to try and do. Ollie's system at United, from what I can see anyway, was all about movement, interchangeability, fast counter-attacking, and Rom's not that. Rom's movement outside of the box is pretty bad. His movement inside the box is probably underrated, I reckon, because people just go, oh, he's a big lump, he's a big donkey, he's got no first touch. But his movement inside the box is actually very good. And if you go back and watch United goals that we've scored that he didn't score, you'll see that generally he's moved the defender out of the way by his running across someone. That's something that Marshall can learn from, that's something that Marcus can learn from, and that's something that you would hope that Mason Greenwood learns from as well, because that's something that they don't have as strikers. Now, arguably they're better in other areas, comfortably better in other areas, and maybe even more suited to what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United setup is going to be. I was so excited when we signed this guy. The player that we got from Everton, a fox in the box, an absolute goal-scoring machine, high level of finishing, high output of goals. I thought, this is a guy that's going to make it work for United. And in that first season, his goal return was actually pretty damn respectable in the grand scheme of things. Very good goal return in your first season. Second season, it didn't work. Jose Mourinho paid the price for that with his job. Solskjaer came in, didn't look like he really fancied him, so seeing him moved on, not really any sort of shock. The fact that he's going to Inter, no shock either. There's been him gassing up Serie A for months and months and months now, and then what he came out with last week, I think it was well on the cards that was going to go down. Inter Milan looks like the place. It seems that United are after about 62 million for him. I don't know if that's fair, considering how much inflation has gone up, considering how much the transfer market has moved on. 62 million for someone of Lukaku's ability, Lukaku's age. I think we're being ripped off a little bit there. I feel like we're being ripped off. When we're talking about 60 million sort of ballpark for Wan-Bissaka, who's a very good player, but nowhere near as proven as Lukaku is, doesn't quite add up, does it? And he's not old. This isn't a player that's 29 or 30 years of age. Not an old player. Still got a couple of contracts in him. I feel like we're being done a bit there. I think we probably should have sold him for more than he came in for, but that looks like it's the crack. Being reported in both the Mirror and all the rest of the rags, and it was Gazzetta dello Sport that sort of came out of it a little bit yesterday. The full quote from him last week was, "The club and my agent will talk about it, but I've already made my decision. I'm going to enjoy my holidays with the family. I know what I'll do, but I won't say it. We'll see." Basically, just told you the crack there, didn't he? So, Big Rom on his bike. Could David De Gea be following out the door with him? Could Sanchez be following out the door with him? And could Paul Pogba be following out of the door with him as well? Because Paul Pogba is another one. Now, Pogba is being linked with both Juventus and he's also being linked with Real Madrid. Now, supposedly, I don't know where this has come from, but supposedly United have, as they always do, slapped a transfer price on him. Why is it always slapped? Why is it never placed? So we slapped a £150 million transfer fee on Paul Pogba, which you could say the 3 seasons he's had here have been much like the 2 seasons that Lukaku's had here. There's been some flashes of real good, there's been some flashes not so good, but why has his value gone up and Lukaku's hasn't? Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Similar age on the 2 players as well. So 150 million been slapped on, Juventus and Real Madrid in the frame. Real Madrid are absolutely blowing it all over the place like a lottery winner at a strip club, aren't they? They are going absolutely mental with it. Like, you can't rule them out signing anybody for any money because of what they've just done in the last week, really. That's how a big club goes out and does it. Ed Woodward, take note. Juventus, I don't think he'll go Juventus. I think a lot of this has been talked up by the fact that Juventus sporting director has been in London to go and speak to our lads in London at the London office to negotiate something. Now, why are we assuming that that's Paul Pogba? Why aren't we assuming that that's us looking at maybe Cancelo, maybe Dybala, who's rumoured to be wanting to leave? Why isn't it looking at maybe Matteo Darmian? Maybe that's the more straightforward one that we're looking at there. I think that the people jumping to the conclusion that it's Paul Pogba are probably doing so because it's the big name. I'm not sure United need to sell Paul Pogba this summer. I don't think we need to. There's a long time left on his contract. There's no, I think at least, no financial requirement for us to sell. Although, if we did sell and we did get 150, 160, 170 million, if Solskjaer was allowed to reinvest that, much like what happened with Coutinho at Liverpool, although I don't trust our board to do that, I'd love to see it reinvested into the squad and one player go and purchase 2 or 3 and actually make the squad better. But it all depends on what Solskjaer wants, because there was a period in time under Solskjaer this season where Paul Pogba was hands down the best midfielder in the world. He was unplayable. If Solskjaer thinks he can get that out of him again, I've got no problem not only keeping him but handing him the armband. It's whether you can get that consistency over a full season with Pogba at United without the players that he had around him at Juventus. Anyway, that's what I think. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.